Every single day, you and I face choices. Some seem small, like how we treat a stranger or whether we tell the truth when it's hard. But what if I told you that these choices are actually tests? Tests that reveal who we trust and what kind of life we're building. Today, let us dive into one of the oldest and most important themes in the Bible: the test of faith. Introduction to Genesis. The Bible opens with a beautiful picture. God creates a perfect world, full of life, beauty, and purpose. And in the center of it all, he places Adam and Eve, not just as caretakers, but as partners in ruling his creation. God gives them freedom, wisdom, and even access to the tree of life. But he also sets a boundary. Don't eat from one tree, or it will lead to death. Now, why would God give that command? Isn't that unfair? Not really. Think about it. Every relationship is built on trust. A test isn't always punishment. It's often an opportunity to prove loyalty and love. The first test and the rebel. But then enters the rebel, the serpent. Instead of guiding them to life, he twists the truth. He tempts them to trust their own wisdom instead of God's. This is where the test becomes a trap. Adam and Eve fail, and humanity is exiled from the garden. But God doesn't give up. He promises that one day a human will come who will pass the ultimate test and defeat evil at its source. Abraham's story. Fast forward to Abraham and Sarah. God calls them to leave everything familiar, family, land, security, and trust him for a new future. It's another test. And while Abraham shows flashes of faith, he also stumbles. He lies. He doubts. He and Sarah even mistreat their servant in an attempt to force God's promise to happen on their terms. But God doesn't walk away. Instead, he gives Abraham one final test: sacrifice his beloved son, Isaac. It's almost unthinkable. Abraham climbs the mountain, knife in hand, but at the last moment, God provides a substitute, a ram in Isaac's place. Abraham shows trust, but he's still not the flawless partner humanity is waiting for. Israel's tests. Generations later, Abraham's family becomes the nation of Israel. And their story is full of tests too. In the wilderness, hungry and thirsty, they could have trusted God to provide. Instead, they complain. They accuse God of trapping them, even after he gave them freedom from slavery. Over and over, Israel fails. Kings, prophets, entire generations miss the opportunity to trust God's wisdom. Humanity keeps proving that on our own we don't measure up. Jesus passes the test. And that's when Jesus steps onto the scene. His story mirrors Israel's, but with one major difference. He goes into the wilderness, not for 40 years, but for 40 days and nights without food. There, the enemy tempts him, just like Adam, just like Israel. But unlike them, Jesus resists. He trusts God's word completely. Later, on the night before his death, Jesus faces what he himself calls the great test. In the Garden of Gethsemane, he prays, "Father, if possible, let this test pass from me, but not my will, your will be done." Jesus passes the ultimate test, choosing obedience, love, and sacrifice. He gives his life, not because he failed, but to cover the failures of everyone else: Israel, Adam and Eve, and yes, even us. What this means for us. Now, here's the big question. What does this mean for you and me in 2025? It means that our lives will also have tests. They won't always look dramatic. Sometimes the test is whether we forgive instead of holding a grudge. Sometimes it's choosing honesty when a lie would be easier. Sometimes it's trusting God in seasons of pain, loss, or uncertainty. And here's the hope. We're not alone in those moments. Every test is an opportunity, not just to prove ourselves, but to lean on Jesus, the one who already passed the ultimate test on our behalf. This is why James, one of the leaders in the early church, said, "Consider it pure joy when you face trials, because they shape your faith and make you stronger." So what tests are you facing today? Are you in a season of waiting, of temptation, or of suffering? Remember, God's tests are never traps. They are opportunities to grow, to trust, and to become more like Jesus. If this message spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend who might need encouragement today. And if you want more videos where we explore the deeper themes of the Bible in ways that connect to real life, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and let's keep walking this journey together. Because every test is a chance to trust the one who already passed it for us.